Working on a Simplex steam locomotive, part 22. Starting with the loose crank pin, I'm taking the easy way to do the repair. Looking at the way that these wheels are double pegged, something tells me that there was a problem in this area during the build. Before working on the parts, they need to be cleaned thoroughly. The problem of the loose crank pin's been bothering me for a while. There are two ways to fix this: extract the old crank pin, or if I can't extract the crank pin, saw it off and drill it out and make a new one a little bit oversized after re-drilling and reaming the wheel, and as you can see, that would take considerable time. I only used a pair of pliers to show you just how loose the crank pin was. In this shot of the reverse of the wheel, you can see how the crank pin is held in position with a grub screw. And this is perfectly fine, provided that you apply some Loctite 603 to it. I removed the grub screw, which thankfully came out quite easily. Then I put the crank pin in the 3-jaw chuck and pulled the wheel away from the crank pin. And here is the crank pin. I don't see any Loctite 603 on the part that fits into the wheel. And here's the wheel minus the crank pin. As you can see, there's plenty of oil in the hole. I need to clean this off thoroughly. And for this, I'm using panel wipe. This is naphtha and it's quite good at removing grease and oil. As usual, I poured some naphtha into the cap of an aerosol spray can and dropped the crank pin into the naphtha. By repeatedly dipping a cotton cloth into the naphtha and pushing it through the hole in the wheel, I also clean that at the same time. I repeat this process 2 or 3 times to make sure there is not any trace of oil left in the hole. To be on the safe side, in this clip I'm using a deburring tool just to deburr the outer edge so that the crank pin locates perfectly flat onto the crank web. The deburring job left what is in effect a very shallow countersink, and this will allow for some Loctite 603 to run around the junction. Before refitting the crank pin, I think it would be a good idea to start the cleanup job. First of all, I'm going around the edge of the wheel just using some Scotch-Brite and some panel wipe, which is both removing the grease and grime as well as any surface rust or marks. I think the builder of this engine had a great deal of trouble with the wheels. There is some evidence that the connecting rods are not the correct length. And because 2 of them have been shortened and silver soldered, I think that the quartering of the wheels on the axles must have been a little bit out. And when the engine was run up and down the bench to test the quartering, it looks to me like the wheel centres moved in the wheels. These wheels are a bit of a mess. 2 holes have been drilled and tapped for small grub screws to hold the wheel in position. Now normally that's okay, but you do it from behind, like with the crank pin, not from the front. It's only a cosmetic problem, but I really don't like the look of these grub screws in the front of the wheel. I'm cleaning up the centre part of the wheel using my Proxxon motor tool, as you've just been watching. A flapper wheel makes a really good tool for cleaning up things like this. Time now to refit the crank pin. I've used some emery cloth just to roughen up the part of the crank pin that goes into the wheel. And it's very important to make sure that the crank pin goes back into the wheel in exactly the same place as it was to start with. I'm going to use Loctite 603 both on the crank pin and in the hole to secure the crank pin to the crank web. This operation has to be done quickly. Immediately I have to fit the grub screw. If I'm too slow, the Loctite 603 will grab and the grub screw will not go in the hole. So it's very important to have your Allen key handy as you do this job. In this clip, the crank pin is secured to the crank web and the grub screws in place. I've temporarily moved the axle box out of the way so I can look at the condition of the main axle, and it's very good. Now begins the great cleanup, and this is a real pain of a job. I don't like doing this at all. This is my Clark parts washer that I've had for a few years, and I'm tipping a full bottle of parts washer fluid into the machine. I use the term machine lightly because all it is a submersible pump with a pipe on the end of it that pumps the solvent from the tank and then puts it back into the tank like this. The idea being that you put your part underneath the jet of solvent. This was extra. It's a brush with a pipe that fits onto the existing pipe so that the solvent flows out of the end of the brush all over the bristles, and it's a great way to clean parts. It's very efficient. The coupling rods and connecting rods are going to need a bit more than the parts washer to clean them up. But it's okay to start with just to loosen the grime that's on there already. Over now to the bench, and I'm removing the front wheel assembly. And as I'm doing that, I notice that the beam to which the front wheels are fastened to is very loose. This small frame stretcher is only held in place at each side by two very small bolts, and if this front pony truck came loose when you were running the engine, it would be catastrophic. The engine would just leap off the track. I think it would be a good idea to weld this stretcher in place. More about that in a future episode. Using the brush in the parts washer didn't turn out to be a very good idea, especially when the pipe came loose. Here is a slow motion action replay, and it shows the pipe coming off and me getting covered in the solvent. And what's worse, I had to wash my fleecy jacket and t-shirt twice just to get rid of the smell. I can't say that this is the best smelling body lotion that I've ever used. Luckily, in the workshop my heat has been on for a while, so it's quite warm. I thought it would be a good idea just to direct the solvent to the part I needed cleaning and let the pressure from the pipe blast away all the dirt and grime. Now it's time for me to go into the house, wash my clothes and wash myself. Stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my main Steam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.